Glad to have you with us from Bowers Stadium. Is there really anything better than immersing yourself in football all afternoon on a Saturday, and we continue with this one. It's the FIU Panthers and the Sam Houston State Bearkats. Reese Davis, David Pollock, and Jesse Palmer with you. Let's check in with our sideline reporter, Holly Rowe.
Hey guys, I caught up with the Bearkats head coach before the game. He understands coming off that emotional upset win against the #1 team in the country.
And the Bearkats ready to put toe to leather, and here we go. From inside the 10, here he comes. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. The Panthers offense will take the field first. Jacoby Williams churned out more than one in their victory last game. From the gun, the ground game. Glad to have you with us from Bowers Stadium. EA Sports college football coverage continues on this Saturday with a mid-afternoon. The Bearkats will kick off first, and here we go. And he takes this from inside the 5. Able to find enough room to get it out across the 25. He's brought down at the 26. The Panthers offense will go on the attack first. The man who will pilot the attack is J.J. Cole. Passing in a couple of touchdowns last time out. From the gun, the running back has it. Found that space and picked up 6 out to the 33. They can really be aggressive after that last play in 2nd and 3. The run inside. It's Coleman Williams. Stopped at the 44, but he got 10 on the play.
And, David, we know when you're playing on the road how important it is to try and steal momentum early and quiet the crowd. You gash the defense with a run like that to pick up a big first down, that'll do it. And that's really a tone setter, I think, for this offense. And you're sending a direct message to the opponent. We are going to be physical, and we're going to try to run this thing down your throat.
Yeah, and they got a chance to respond. And the crowd hopefully can get behind them and get back in it. The defense has got to do a better job. We got to stop the run. They got to tackle, get more hats to the football. This will be a challenge. They're going to run the football. They better be man enough to stop them.
Makes that one pay off, and they finally get him down at the 38. It'll be first down.
Man, I love when offenses are not afraid to run the football consecutive times in a row or multiple times in a row. I know everybody wants to air it out, but, man, getting that ground game established, making those linebackers and safeties come up and know that we're going to run the football, I like the way they started this football game.
Out of bounds right at the 20-yard line, edge of the red zone, and they have their eyes on a score.
This opening drive has been all offense. Really good job, nice scripted plays, taking advantage, strung together a nice series. But here's all that matters for defense. We don't even care about yards anymore. Can I keep him out of the end zone? Great job right here. Step up, get a stop, force him either to kick a field goal or get no points, and this drive is still a success.
And they make the stop, and this offense has it inside the 5, and they are threatening.
And that's why, as a former quarterback, man, I love these drag routes, because if you get the right coverage and it's man-to-man and someone gets picked or can't keep up with your receiver, you just put it out nicely in front of them, they're going to make the catch.
And he surges across the line. Touchdown, Panther!
We know a lot of offenses like to script their opening 10 plays going into games. They practice it over and over and over again throughout the week, and you just saw flawless execution on the opening drive by the offense. A nice job mixing in pass and run, getting different guys involved here early. They cap it off with a nice run late, but what a great job to take control of this game and the offense. They've got it moving now.
The Bearkats offense coming onto the field, and we'll get our first look at them in this one. And this guy can provide a good security blanket for a quarterback. It's Ethan Davis. He's been a really good complementary piece to this passing attack. Looking for a man, it's Blair. And those two couldn't make the connection. It's an incomplete pass. 2nd and long here. After the incompletion, back to the passing game. Between the hashes, it's Davis. Makes the stop at the 33, but it's a 15-yard gain. The Bearcats want to crank the tempo.
And it's frustrating as a defense when you give up that first down and you give up that pass play. But here we go with this offense. They're right back on the ball. You got to flush that, you got to get lined up, and you got to communicate.
Dropped immediately. He got nothing on first down. Handoff again. He'll be dropped. 3rd and long right here. From the gun, wants to pass. Throws to the wideout. He's got it. A huge play, and they get it all the way to the 45-yard line. And the Bearcats are moving quickly down the field. Quick give. It's right. They didn't get a push at all on that one. It'll be no gain on the play. Long way to go on 2nd down. From the gun, he'll try to throw. That one's not even close. 3rd and long, a lot of ground to cover. Wide receiver going in motion. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Pressure is effective from the defense. They knock him down just behind the midfield stripe at the 48.
And how about this defense? Your offense goes right down the field, scores on the first drive, and now you come out, get a big sack on 3rd down, and force a punt. You talk about creating momentum early and shutting the home crowd up. Mission accomplished.
The Bearcats will send out the punt unit. And the punt hits at the 6. Florida International comes out to start this drive. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. Fresh set of downs going up top. Knew where he wanted to go with it, but couldn't find his target. It's incomplete. Let's take a minute to look at Florida International. By the end of the day, one of these two teams will control their conference destiny the rest of the way. Potential bye in the college football playoff on the line. This game critical at this point in the season for both teams.
And so much talent in this game, too. Outstanding coaching staffs, NFL talent on both teams going into this one. David, this might be a rematch in the conference championship game. We might get to see this matchup again.
Yeah, and it's so nice to have two teams playing so well at the top of their conference. You know this game matters. There's no sleepwalking into this game. You see the numbers at the top of the conference. It's you and it's them. Who's going to come out today?
It'll be a gain of 6. Sets up 2nd and 4. All right, guys, let's talk about Florida International. Good pickup on the recruiting trail just last week. 3-star defensive back. A guy that could be a bit of a diamond in the rough, but that type of talent is what they need to build that secondary.
Man, yeah, and this is a program they're trying to build something. They're trying to climb to that next level, and this is how you do it. You get players that your school can go out and get, and now you let them play, start to develop, and turn into something great.
Job by the defense there. They weren't surprised by that play call there on 3rd and short. They were expecting pass. They took everything away and forced the incompletion.
Gets his first one of the day away, and that matches his total from that victory last week. They're going to Sam Houston State's offense taking the field to start this drive. Finding themselves down 7-0, they'd love to get a drive going here. Got some green grass. He's past the marker. They stay aggressive and push their way out to the 33, and it's first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Scanning the field, it's Blair. Can't hold on in the face of the contact. A lot of ground to cover, and they need a chunk here on 2nd down. Hand it to the back. Nice move there. Turning. Oh, he broke out another move. The 20. He's at the touchdown, Bearkats. This crowd absolutely loving it as he rolled into the end zone. And a huge run from the back for 6.
Man, it's nice to have a running back that can do that. That makes everything else easy on offense. Hey, hand it to that guy. He makes a big play. Yes, please.
Setting up for the extra point and the tie. And the point after is good. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And they finish it off on the ground, a 67-yard touchdown run. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Just able to get out to the 18. The Panthers offense comes out ready to go on the attack. That last drive fizzled out, Jesse. They had to punt it.
Yeah, they did. And, David, they're just going to have to do a better job this time around erasing the mental mistakes.
And just trying to solve the defensive riddle, understanding what they're trying to do to you and attack them.
2nd down, going to throw it. Can hang on after the hit, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
The big tight end tries to make a catch, and you could tell he extends for the ball, but great job by the defender getting in there, making the hit, dislodging the football out at the same time as he's going to catch it, and the big tight end couldn't hold on to it.
Fairly manageable distance here on 3rd down from the 27. Push it ahead. And the defense stands up this offensive line and stuffs him right at the line of scrimmage. He didn't get it.
Now, you want to be a great run defense, your DBs have to be great tacklers. And I love the way he comes up, sees the run. I know he makes the money in the back end covering passes, but when you got a guy that can fly up and...
Hold on a minute. The offense still out there going for it in their own territory. Needs it. Looking for room at the 40. Knocked down, but he's got enough to move the chains and convert that 4th down.
Hey, man, 4th and 1 at any part of the field is risky to go for, especially when you're in your own end of the field. But they did. It was a good play call. I like them being aggressive, especially after getting that 1st down.
Makes a man miss. Picked up maybe 3 on the play at 2nd and 7. They'll need a bunch on 2nd down. Kept it on the ground, now they'll throw. He let that thing fly quickly, but he couldn't make the connection.
I don't even know if the offense is aware that they have other eligible targets downfield. It feels like every single throw early in this game has gone this guy's way.
On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. Makes the grab. They'll make the stop about a yard short of the 1st down. They're going to stay aggressive and leave the offense out there on 4th down again. The Bearkats used the first of their 3 timeouts. After using an early one, 2 left for them to spend. They've already converted once on 4th down on this drive. They are unafraid to make everywhere 4-down territory. He's brought down, but not before he picks up the 1st down on a gutsy call to keep this drive alive. The Panthers pounded the rock to move the sticks, now back to work. Drops back on 1st down. Hauls it in. Oh, he's got some space. They make the stop right at the 30-yard line, but it's a 10-yard pickup and a 1st down. The Panthers, after moving the sticks through the air, come to the line. The sure hands, it's Burke. No chance to run, but still a good gain. Picked up 5 on that last pass play. Now it's 2nd and 5. Here's the snap, looking to throw. Unloads to the wideout. Finds a man in the middle. Defense knocks him down immediately after the catch, but now they're facing a goal-to-go situation from the 7. On 1st and goal, let's see if FIU can get it in. They'll try to get it in with the run. He never had a chance on the draw, tackled almost as soon as he got the ball. Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. Wideout trying to get it in. And he'll run it into the end zone. Touchdown, FIU. That was an absolute sledgehammer of a drive, just taking the air out of the ball.
And it's hard when you run that many plays not to make a mistake and throw an interception or get penalties and put you in a bad spot. But the offense just strung play after play after play together and got in the end zone.
On the move from inside his 5. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. Opening play of this drive will come from their own 23. Moving the pocket, it's Blair. Look out! He sacked this defense all over him.
That's a good example there of complementary defense. The DBs and linebackers are playing zone, they're playing their spaces, and they force the QB to have to hold the ball, try to work through his progressions, and then the pass rush, they win up front.
Timed that hit perfectly to keep him from making the grab. It'll be 3rd down. Now this offense tries to figure out a way to move the chains after the 2nd down misfire. Setting up the screen. They don't fall for the screen. Great job retracing and stopping him at the line of scrimmage. We've reached the break. It's FIU with the lead. We've played one. Before we move on, let's have a look at the stats. They've switched into the field, and we're ready to get things started here in the 2nd. The Bearcats will try to pin them back with the punt. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. Slips through the line. He was able to get that ball up to the 40. stopped on the return. FIU gets it back, and the Panthers will send the offense back onto the field. They reeled off a long touchdown drive the last time they had it. Much better field position this time around.
Yeah, I don't know if the quarterback got confused on first down. He might have thought the defense was going to be in man coverage that time, but they were in zone. They fooled him, and just didn't seem like he had his eyes in the right place, was forcing that ball to his intended target. The window way too small. The guy was not open, so that didn't have a chance to be complete.
Might be decision time if the defense can get a stop on third down from the 45. Takes it down to the 41-yard line, and it'll be a first down.
This is one of the top 10 offenses in the nation in getting first downs. To do that, you gotta have balance. Can't always throw for it on third down. You've got to be able to run it as well, and they've got a dude in the backfield who just knows how to move the chains.
He goes out of bounds, but not before getting it to the 32. And the Panthers can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Quick give. Finds a crease at the 20. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is. They had the first down before that penalty backed them up, and now they'll snap it on second down. With that penalty, the offense is backed up on second down. This time they'll throw it. Stepping to the right. Makes the grab. Brought down just outside the red zone. He moves the chains. It's at the 22. FIU set up with another first down. Keeping it on the ground inside. It's Williams. Gives him the big stiff arm. And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Florida International.
You know, this offense, so important for this guy to stay healthy. They needed him week in, week out, because he plays at such a high level, and he's showing it here. That last carry was his 10th rushing touchdown of the season.
And he tacks on the extra point. He'll start the return inside his 5. And they'll haul down the returner to start us on the next drive. The Bearkats offense out there to go on the attack. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude, if you put a good drive together, this is a 7-point game. So, Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, David, I mean, this thing can flip quick. You go down, score, all of a sudden your defense gets a stop, or who knows, better yet, gets a turnover. This game is entirely different.
And the Bearcats moving quickly to the line. Drops back. It's Blair. Oh, he's ready to take a shot. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have squeezed it. They boot it away on fourth down. He only needs a sliver of daylight. The coverage team made the stop, and they'll mark it at the 39. The Florida International offense is back on the field. This has been exactly the way you draw things up, David. The offense has really been moving the football.
And it's been great execution. They've done exactly what they've wanted to do. Build the lead. Now Palmer's a different animal. Now you got to protect it.
You can tell they were paying attention in practice this week in the film room, because they have gone out, everybody right now on the same page.
Nice run to pick up his way for good yardage there. Third and short now. They snap it from their own 46. Changing the routes with his receivers. He's looking to throw on third and short. Got rid of it quickly, but it's incomplete.
Third and short like that on your own side of the field, you're just looking for a quick hitter. You're trying to get the ball out of your hand quickly, but the timing completely off there for the offense, and the ball falls.
Wait just a minute, guys. The offense looks as if they're going for it in their own end. Needs it here on fourth down. And the incomplete. Get the ball back for its own. Great field position. First play of this drive. They're all over him. And it's incomplete, but there's a flag in the backfield. Let's see who the call's on. Holding penalties, the ultimate drive killer. We'll see if it costs this offense here. He is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose yards on that one. And the Bearkats with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Keeps it moving. It's right. They got it blocked just enough, and a good gain on that run. They're facing a third down. Back to pass. It's Blair. He's going to run it. He'll be brought down at the 46, and he is well short of that first down marker. Fourth down coming. The Bearkats will call on their punt team. They'll look to pin them deep. Punt goes out of bounds, and they stick them deep in their own end. They'll mark it around the 10. The Panthers offense comes out ready to go to work. They were really aggressive going for it in their own end last time. It put them in a tough spot, David.
Yeah, aggressive, reckless. They got to find the balance with this offense to really be productive. And last possession, they went for it. They rolled the dice, Palmer, and it didn't work out for them.
Yeah, if you're better on third down moving forward, though, you can keep yourself out of those situations.
Makes the grab. It's McNeil. Knocked down at the 26 after ripping off 10 there.
It's a nice job running the in route there by the receiver, and the best thing he did after he made his break, he didn't trail and fade away. He actually attacked the football. That's a good...
Running wide open down the gut of the field. He's at the 20. And he slipped through the crowd, and he'll house it. Touchdown, Panthers. They want to finish the season doing that here, this Week 11 performance. This defense not only searching for answers, they're still searching for that running back.
And searching for angles. My goodness, this dude, he runs so fast, he erases angles. People trying to catch him, they didn't realize how much burners he had. He kicked it in gear, and there was no getting him.
Looking for an alley from inside his own 10. They tried to get the wall set up for him, not quite enough for the huge play, but a good job to give his offense some breathing room. First play of the drive, he'll look to throw. They'll run the screen.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands.
Intercepted for the 11th time. He's into the open down the middle. In with the pick six. Touchdown, Panthers. The DB saw it. He thought, don't drop it, don't drop it. Then thought, don't get caught. And he didn't. The pick six.
Hey, these guys can play offense, too. Now, look at this. I showed you I can be a wide receiver. Coach might split him out at wide receiver next week after making that big play. But defense, great job making the interception. And you're right, doing something with it. Don't just slide down. Don't be content. Take that thing all the way back, brother.
On the run from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Dropping back, it's Blair. Rush right in his face. Trying to escape and get it himself.
Defense is all about creating negative plays, and he does a really good job at the quarterback spot of not taking sacks. Like, that's a great job. He wants to throw the football. The clock goes off, he takes off, and gets a positive gain.
And he had it for a second, but it just dribbled out of his hands. When you've already sent your punter out 4 times, at least he knows he's going to get his varsity letter, and his leg might get a bigger workout if they don't convert. Intercepted. A first-half turnover can swing momentum. And they'll get him down after a solid return.
Momentum-building play. His second interception in the first half. He can feel where the football's going. Got a good beat on this offense and making plays early and often for his club.
Defense right there to stop him in his tracks, and they get nothing on that play. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Kept the last one on the ground. Now they'll throw. Finds his big tight end. They'll spot the ball at the 12 after that completion.
Well, a nice completion there, finding the tight end. And what's so beautiful about that is while they didn't get the first, they were able to pick up enough yards now to make the third down manageable, really putting this offense in a good position.
The stop is made, but this offense is threatening. First and goal from the 9.
And that's got to feel good if you're the offense, because third down has been a bit of a problem all season long, but you love the way they're executing at this point, finding ways to keep the chains moving.
No room to run, and he stopped right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be second and goal. The run up the middle, trying to find his way to the goal line. Defense all over him.
Man, that hurts because second down, you got everything in front of you, the whole playbook open. Now you get a lost yardage play. Now it's third down. Now it puts those feet to the fire a little bit more. Now you better come up with something you really love in this area of the field.
He'll be stopped right there. They threw it short of the goal line, and now they've got some ground to cover on fourth down. We're at the 2-minute timeout. They've built a big lead, and they'll try to pile on a little more before the break. The kicker looks a little disappointed. He'll not come into the game. They'll go for it on fourth and goal from the 4. Trying to bull his way in. Touchdown! Offense cashing it in on that drive. When you're handed a break with unbelievable field position like that, you better finish the deal, and they did.
You saw the quarterback jog on the field. I think he gave a high five to every one of those players coming off that just put them in position to go score that touchdown. That QB knew this was a golden opportunity, and boy, he took advantage of it.
They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. The give. Good, solid run on that one as he gets it up to the 33-yard line. The Bearkats racing to the line in the hurry-up. To throw, it's Blair. Turns it upfield. He's close to the first down, but they're going to mark him just a little short. 4 punts already, and they've got to convert here to avoid a 5th. Fires downfield. He's got an open man. Defense caught out of position, and they get him down finally at the 38. And the Bearkats have it with a 1st and 10.
And you never want to say it's over early. I mean, we're here early in the game, but considering what the scoreboard is saying, they absolutely had to have that play for them to stay in this football game. And sometimes it just takes one great throw and one great catch to wake you up. They need to score a touchdown on this drive. They need to score another touchdown on their next drive, but maybe that's the play that turns things around for them.
A third down play coming from the 32 as they try to keep the drive going. From the gun, wants to pass. Big hit, knocks the ball away, and it'll force him into a 4th down. It's 4th down, and they can make the field goal from here, but it looks as if they're going to leave the offense out there. And he is finding wide-open defenders all over the field. His 3rd interception of the day. Didn't get a chance to show off those running skills, but he gives them the ball at the 29-yard line.
Well, that's the 2nd pick in as many series now for this quarterback. But, David, I love the defense right now and the way they're reading and reacting to all these route concepts. I mean, they are... Again.
All over the field, making plays. Listen, you're supposed to see the quarterback break on the football. You've seen several breaks on the football. Your job is to know what the offense does really, really well, and you can tell this defense is dialed in, and they know exactly what this offense wants to accomplish.
And this is dropped. Incomplete pass. He had a huge gain in his fingers, and he couldn't hold on. 2nd and long here. Couldn't connect on first down. Now back to the air. Over the middle, it's Williams. They get him on the ground late in the half. They have the first down at the 41. Offense lining up quickly. Snap on first down, wants to throw. Receiver wasn't ready for the throw, incomplete.
Man, the defense, they haven't had an answer for this guy. He has been lighting them up in the pass game early and often so far, and that time just not able to hook up with his quarterback.
Long way to go on second down. Looking downfield very late in the half. Fires to the wideout. Swats it away.
Good play call offensively, and that's the right place to go with the football if you're the quarterback, but just a better job by the defender knocking that ball down.
They've got a good chunk of ground to cover on 3rd and long from the 41. From the gun, wants to pass. Short pass. Good pickup there as he gets the first down, and they'll mark him at the 48. Now the offense wants to make sure everything's straightened out, and they call their first timeout. They'll have 2 left to work with before the half. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. Fresh center downs going to the air. Pass is incomplete. The clock is down to 9.
And there's an example of what happens when the quarterback doesn't have a chance to set his feet. The pressure just forced him to have to work off schedule a little bit. And I think because of that, he wasn't able to be as accurate as he wanted to be.
And as we work our way toward halftime, timeout on the field. They'll have just enough time to get one more snap before the half. Drives inside. Across the 25. Guided out of bounds at the 22. A good play for this offense as they are threatening to score. And they head to the locker room. 2 quarters in the books, and time for us now to check in with Kevin Connors in our EA Sports College Football studio with scores from around the country.
Guys, down the stretch we come on what's been a thrilling college football season. Week 11 filled with storylines. We begin with the Texas A&M Aggies taking on the #1 team, the Ole Miss Rebels. And it's the Aggies looking to come out on top in what has been a high-scoring affair. And I love that neither team fears this moment. Gotta see which defense is able to make a stand. Back now to your game in Huntsville. And in this day and age where quarterbacks chuck it all over the field, how refreshing to see 2 offenses rely on off-tackle left, off-tackle right, and even a few halfback dives. Physical offensive lines and elusive backs have told the story. A throwback to the halcyon days of 3 yards and a cloud of dust. And with that, let's send it back to our team at Elliott T. Bowers Stadium.
Thanks for that halftime report, Kevin. FIU has it on a tee, about ready to go here in the 3rd quarter. And it'll be a touchback. The ball. The Bearcat offense ready to go back to work. What could go wrong did in the first half, and they start this 3rd quarter at the bottom of the mountain.
Man, that was bad. That was a frying pan to the head. That was a TKO. It was awful in the first half. Flush it. I got to start doing something right. I got to find some positives. I get the ball first to start this possession, try to put a scoring drive together.
The only thing you can do at this point offensively is just make sure your best players are touching the football as often as possible. You recruited these guys, you got guys out of the portal, you put your faith in them to make plays. This is a time to go out and do it.
Got his man. He gets it out to the 28-yard line, not enough to pick up the first down. The Bearcats will punt it away on 4th down. They may have to pay him overtime. He's punting for the 5th time today. Searching for space. They're able to put a stop to that return. And now this offense will take the field again. Running inside, it's Danzy. 9-yard pickup on the play. It's now 2nd and 1.
We love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
They give it to him again, fighting off the defender. They've got it to the 49-yard line, and they'll move the chains.
And, man, this is more of the same for this dude toting the pill. Like, they keep giving it to him, and he keeps producing. Another chunk play. Like, I don't expect that they'll change much to do with this offense because every time they give it to him, he's chewing up some yards.
Quarterback feeling that pressure, and he's knocked down at the 42.
And you just get the feeling this defense is going to have to make more negative plays like that. You're down multiple possessions tonight. You need to come away with sacks to see if you can scrape and claw and get back in this game.
The Panthers trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Wants to go up top on 2nd down. Makes the catch. It's McNeil. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. They'll have to push the ball down the field here on 3rd and long. Oh, pressure's coming. That pass is well off target. He got hit as he was trying to throw, and they can't convert on 3rd down. FIU will line up to punt. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. Probably not quite as good as he. The Bearkats offense heads out to get things started on this drive. Didn't get anything done, 3 and out on their last series. They'll try to find a rhythm here. And he'll be hit immediately, no gain on the play. Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Back to throw, it's Blair. Here comes the heat. Connection to the right. Out across the 40 and forced out of bounds at the 42. And now this offense is clicking. They'll run it. Nowhere to go on that one. It'll bring up 2nd and 10. Went to the running game on 1st down. Now here they come again. Out wide left, it's Coleman Williams. He's brought down, but he went backwards after that completion, not the way they had it drawn up. On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Got a man in the middle. And he was on his way. Gets it all the way to the 38. The Bearkats are moving quickly down the field. Wants to throw on 1st. They get to him as he throws. Just gets rid of it to avoid the sack. A lot of ground to cover, and they need a chunk here on 2nd down. Selling the fake. Deep shot for the end zone. Had it in his hands for the score and let it fall to the turf. It'll be 3rd down. Trying to pick up a 1st down. Just keeps slinging it. Under pressure. And the ball comes out. What a disastrous play. And the defense got it.
You know, as quarterbacks, you've got to be good in the pocket. Even when things are collapsing and you've got guys swiping at it, you got to have 2 hands on the football. Didn't do a really good job with ball security there, and that led to the fumble.
Guys, FIU ready to go back to work on offense. They'll have another opportunity to extend this lead after punting last time, David.
And it's important to put that punt behind you. It's over. Let it go. Get back to what you were doing that built this lead, Paul.
Yeah, and defense, obviously, they won a few downs that last drive, so we got to put them on their heels here. Maybe mix up a few personnel groupings and try to show them some pictures they haven't seen yet.
From the 33, it's 1st and 10. Fresh set of downs going up top. Lets it go for the end zone. He was open, he had it, and he dropped it. Would have been a touchdown. Instead, it's 2nd down. From the gun, it's Williams. Defense there to stop him after a gain of 3, but he is inside the 30 to the 29. Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. And he gets it away. Now it looks as if they'll settle for the field goal try. This is going to be a 46-yard field goal attempt. It is perfect. And they just tack on a little more to this gargantuan lead.
And that's not the way they wanted to end the drive, but nice job being ready and your field goal kicker coming through and putting 3 points on the board.
They drag him down at the 22. He gambled for the big return out of the end zone and came up a little short. To the air, it's Blair. Rushes on. Unloads in the nick of time. They'll need a bunch on second down. Misfired on the last play. They'll go back to the air. Pulls it in. It's Davis. You know, David, this is really what game managing is. Nice pickup on second down to help them on the next play.
Yeah, I think people look at that negative sometimes, finding a quarterback that's a game manager. No, use your brain. Set up good situations. I'm way more successful when I can keep those sticks at a more manageable situation, and I'm not as predictable on a third down.
They kick it away on fourth down. Not a lot of room to field this one. Makes a move. He was able to get that ball up to the 48-yard line before he stopped on the return. Ford International comes out to start this drive. They've got the lead here. Last time they settled for a field goal, but David got to find that balance between being aggressive and careful.
And I think they'll take that. I got the lead, Palmer. I got the football. I got to take care of the football, put a nice drive together, and just get some kind of points on this drive.
No doubt. Lots to be happy about right now if you're this team. I think for this one, though, on this drive, it's about finding the one-on-one matchups that are in your favor and then exploiting them.
The Panthers, after ripping off that huge run, let's see if they can do it again. Drops back on first down. Catch in the middle, it's Isaac. He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line. On 1st and 10, trying to strike from the 15. They're working that left side. Hit and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and long here. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. Stopped at the 13-yard line as they try to turn this into points. 3rd and long coming up. From the gun, wants to pass. And the pass rush is effective, and they tackle him at the 19. Now on 4th down, here comes the field goal team. And he's already made one. The holder will put it down at the 26 for a 36-yard try. Never a doubt. And that'll add 3 more to a lead that is already way out of hand.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but, man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. They'll move the wide receiver. Got the quick completion. He's down right there, short gain on the grab. After the 4-yard completion on 1st down, now it's 2nd and 6. Running behind that left side. Down he goes. Probably the toughest call on the play sheet. 3rd and long. Ball's at the 25. To the air. It's Blair. Look out. He was looking everywhere for more running room and couldn't find it. He'll be 4 yards short, and it's 4th down. And the Bearkats line up to punt it away. He'll try to really get into this one. He'll try to make the catch in traffic. He got nothing on the return. Outstanding job there. A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. Hits inside. It's Danzy. Makes the tackle at the 30 after he picked up 10. With this game well in hand, let's take a look at some of the potential Heisman candidates here as we get very late in the season. we enter the fourth quarter, let's see if anything memorable can come from this one. They go back to work with a first down in the final period of this one. They're going to ride this running back. And he broke one tackle on the way to a solid pickup there. And the Panthers in a good spot here with 2nd and short. The give is to Williams. They drop him at the 47-yard line, but he'll have plenty to move the sticks. FIU comes out with a fresh set of downs. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. Hit and drop behind the line, he'll lose a yard. After losing a couple on that last play, here's 2nd and 12. Hand off from the shotgun. And they didn't get it forward an inch. Defense wins the battle up front. Ton of ground to cover here on 3rd and long. Just going to keep it after the snap. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. It'll be 4th down. FIU will line up to punt. He's going to try to flip the field with this one. And he can't quite get it down or out of bounds. It's into the end zone for a touchback. Sam Houston State's offense taking the field to start this drive. When the defense got the stop, they could have used a few more of those earlier. Still a big deficit here late. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. Motion from the wideout. Just smothered on the play. They need a huge play on 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Lets it fly. He's got it way down the field. First catch of the season for this highly talented wide receiver. Man, their fans have been hungry to see that. They used a chunk play to cross midfield, and they've got it 1st and 10 just outside the 40. Straight ahead, it's Moore. Nowhere to go. Long way to go on 2nd down. Wants to pass. They're all over him. And they got him.
I think the thing that's so impressive about this defense, it's not just the athleticism and the ability to get to the quarterback. It's the variety in the ways they can do it. Sometimes it's a 4-man rush. Sometimes it's a 3-man rush. Sometimes it's all-out blitz. But with the speed they have, especially in that front 7, it has been a nightmare for this offense. They've been giving up sack after sack after sack in this game.
The defense all revved up after that earlier sack, and they'll try to stop them right here. Right side, it's Bruce. He's knocked out of bounds. They'll mark it at the 44. And the Bearkats send out the punt unit. They call it a coffin corner kick for a reason, and you really can't do it any better than that. He puts that thing out of bounds right around the goal line. The run inside. It's Coleman Williams. And a nice run there before the defense finally makes the stop. Got 8 on 1st down, now looking at a 2nd and 2. And he's stuffed by that big defensive tackle up front. 3rd and short, they've got them backed up inside the 20, and the D can get the ball back here. Burrowing for yardage. They get him down, but it's past the sticks, and it's a 1st down for FIU. The offense comes out 1st and 10 from the 11. Sells the run, looking to pass. Williams open on the right side. They pull him down, but he's got enough, and it'll be a 1st down for this offense. The Panthers are rolling down the field. Left side is Carter. Able to haul it in, but right to the ground he goes, only a pickup of a couple. They got 3 on the last pass. Here comes 2nd and 7. Quick give. It's Williams. Defense closed down quickly after a gain of 3. They'll mark it at the 32. Faced with a 3rd and short from their own 32 to keep this drive alive. From the gun, wants to pass. Out wide left, it's McNeil. Off and running. The 20. And he eluded the defense, and he'll take it all the way. Touchdown, FIU. They extend this lead, and it looks as if they are going to make it 2 wins in a row.
And honestly, it's been about complementary football in this game, right? We've seen this offense go up and down the field. They've been lighting up the scoreboard, but the defense has done a great job, too, getting off the field and putting their offense in really good position in this game. The head coach has got to love what he's seen on both sides of the ball today.
On to attempt the try. And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. And he takes this from inside the 5. They'll corral him and get him down at the 17-yard line on the return. The Bearkats offense out there to go on the attack. After 3 consecutive punts, we'll see if they can dial up something that can get this offense moving forward. Hit and dropped, and he got nothing on first down. Second down to the air. Got it. They'll wrestle him down just short of the first down. I don't even think they're going to bring out the chains to measure this one. Trying to squeak through the pile. Breaks into the open. It's a game of first downs, and they've got one out to their own 37. The Bearkats come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Tight end now in motion. Snap on first down, wants to throw. Missed his receiver there, it's incomplete. A lot of ground to cover, and they need a chunk here on second down. They're working their way toward midfield. He's out of bounds at the 46. Third and short now. They snap it from their own 46. Powers inside. He's got first down yardage across the 50. They'll mark it at the 49. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Fresh set of downs going to the air. Makes the grab on the left. Makes the catch, but goes no further, and it'll be a short pickup on that one. Short pickup of 4 on first down, dealing with a 2nd and 6. They want to throw it. Caught. He'll be dragged to the ground, but it'll be a first down. The Bearkats go back to work after moving the chains through the air. This is what an elite team does. They know they're better. They go out. They take the figurative sledgehammer and hit them right between the eyes.
And they just look good in every phase of the game. If I'm on the coaching staff, I don't know what you could ask for your guys to do better. I think the challenge now for this team is going out next week and trying to play with the same type of intensity and the same level of execution.
Well, Jesse, it's easy to look good on the field when you look that good in your unit. Like when you look that good coming off the bus. Those dudes are good. This is a great team, and they proved it. Just domination from start to finish.
This has been a presentation of EA Sports College Football. For David Pollack, Jesse Palmer, and Holly Rowe, I'm Reese Davis saying goodbye, everybody.